Now it's official. Elon Musk made an offer to buy Twitter, and it can make him more influential than ever before. Stay tuned as we explain why this could be the most impactful public company takeover of the year. After the generous $41 billion offer, Elon Musk explained his decision as necessary action to save democracy and free speech. Because of the full company takeover, he would be the major owner of three most powerful tech companies: the media giant Twitter, the biggest EV company Tesla, and private space exploration company SpaceX. You may remember that the first week of April came with the big news from the richest person in the world, Elon Musk, in the form of a regulatory statement which he did make announcing his purchase of Twitter shares that turned him into the largest shareholder in the company. According to Musk, he did declare that he was a massive investor, but Musk later revealed that he had agreed to join Twitter's board of directors, directly contradicting his earlier declaration. However, later it was announced that Elon Musk was abandoning plans to join Twitter's board of directors just before his term was about to begin. This was the latest example of the richest person defying corporate America's norms. But how did Twitter react to Elon's purchase and later declining to actually join their board? Let's find out more in the next couple of minutes. In a statement released on Monday, Elon Musk announced he had spent $2.9 billion to acquire a 9.2% stake in Twitter, making him the company's largest shareholder. Financial markets were ablaze with conjectures following the news, with many believing that Musk, the richest person on the planet and a regular Twitter, would be invited to join the board of directors of Twitter. But when Musk purchased his shares in Twitter, it appeared that he had intended to keep it passive, which meant that he would not use his position to affect the company's strategic direction. However, Parag Agrawal, CEO of Twitter, said the next day that Musk would be joining the company's board of directors with substantial changes expected in the future. So why did it never happen then? It should be noted that the narrative of Musk did not end there. It was only the beginning. When Musk initially agreed to join the board, he had consented to a ban on acquiring more than 14.9% of Twitter's stock, and perhaps more crucially, to his fiduciary obligation to operate in the company's and its shareholders' best interests. But now, Musk has rescinded that commitment. According to an SEC filing published on Saturday, Musk will no longer be joining the board of directors. Still, as an active investor, he will continue to advocate for changes at the company, which he will do by tweeting out ridiculous recommendations. Following the filing, Musk claimed that he now has the legal rights to communicate his thoughts to the board and/or members of the issuer's management team and/or the public through social media or other means. When you analyze this situation critically, you will see that Musk realized that his position on Twitter's board of directors would prohibit him from partaking in one of his favorite pastimes, tweeting anything he wants. If Musk had stayed on Twitter's board of directors, he would have been required to act in the company's best interest in his capacity as a fiduciary. And because of this, he wouldn't have been able to tweet freely about the company's future direction, because it would have been hard to distinguish his tweets from jokes or pranks. After all, if he does fail to act in line with his fiduciary duty, an investor may bring a lawsuit against him. And if you think Twitter's board of directors is aggravated with no just cause, consider this. Elon Musk did post a photo of himself smoking marijuana on Joe Rogan's podcast with a caption that said, "Twitter's next board meeting is going to be lit." In a since-deleted post, he tweeted that Twitter Blue users would be immediately vetted and given the option to pay with Dogecoin when making purchases. So, according to Agrawal, Musk claimed that he was no longer interested in serving on the board by Saturday, maybe because he realized that some of his tweets might land him in problems with the Securities and Exchange Commission once more. Agrawal, who announced the decision through Twitter, claimed that he believed this was for the best. He also stated that he would remain open to Musk's views, but he also advised the company staff to tune out the noise and concentrate on the work at hand. Having decided not to join the board of directors, Musk was off to the races on Twitter last weekend before the decision was made public. And to begin, he asked his Twitter followers whether they believed the company should convert its San Francisco headquarters into a homeless shelter, since no one ever shows up there anyhow. He earned a resounding yes vote from 912,867 voters, or 91% of the total ballots cast. The message went up around an hour and a half after Musk, now 50 years old, asked his Twitter followers whether they felt he should delete the W from Twitter. Musk received a positive response. Following the deletion of the tweets, it became clear that Musk was poking fun at Twitter's leadership after rejecting to join the company's board of directors. And this is a privilege he would have given out if he had joined the Twitter's board of directors in reality. According to Wedbush tech analyst Dan Ives, such moves will begin a Game of Thrones battle between Musk and Twitter's management. Ives expects Musk would take a more adversarial attitude towards the company. Musk's departure from the Twitter's board of directors could result in a variety of outcomes, including the company partnering with a private equity firm and imposing significant strategic changes and a sale. Secondly, by making additional noise and agony for the Twitter board and executives with other recommended platform improvements, or thirdly, by declaring game over, cutting his stake, and going home. Meanwhile, Musk is free to continue tweeting ideas for the firm's future, and he will not be held accountable for them as a board member and the owner of a multi-billion-dollar interest in the company. And this is playing nice for him, because in a simple tweet on Saturday, Musk appeared to be embracing his freedom, asking the question, "Is Twitter dying?" On the same day, he resigned from the company's board of directors. But as a result of this weekend's change, the firm will no longer have to deal with a rogue shareholder who would tweet about board meetings. According to Don Bilson, an analyst at Gordon Haskett Research Advisors, that would have been impossible to do. But on the flip side, Twitter will have to deal with a wild-card investor who currently owns 9% of the company and has the funds to acquire an additional 91%. And given Musk's reputation for being unexpected, we may see something similar from him shortly. When Twitter announced Musk being dismissed from the board of directors, Twitter's CEO sent a letter to the company's employees in which he warned them about coming distractions, and in the case of a hostile takeover, a poison pill, also known as a shareholder rights plan, may be the final choice for Twitter. Of course, such a move might irritate Musk, and it may be best for Twitter to keep that arrow in its quiver for the time being, if such a move were ever to be undertaken. One thing that Twitter knows is that nothing is off the table when it comes to Elon Musk. But on the flip side, Twitter's stock saw its best day since its initial public offering, after Tesla's CEO Elon Musk's more than 9% shareholding in the company was made public. The next day, upon Musk's appointment to the board of directors, the stock surged 2%. But Musk declined to join the board on Monday. The stock market fluctuated, and the volatility is predicted to continue. Following Twitter CEO's revelation that Musk will not be joining the board of directors of Twitter, the eccentric billionaire took down some of his prior remarks critical of the social media platform. If Musk were to accept the board seat, it would appear that he would be putting his most prized possession at risk, his ability to troll everyone on Twitter, including the company's heads, via Twitter. Besides that, if Musk had been elected to the board of directors, his SEC target would have been even greater. He can now not acquire any more Twitter shares without crossing yet another regulatory wire. Anyone who owns 10% or more of a company is classified as an insider by the Securities and Exchange Commission and is subject to further stock purchases and transaction limitations. This big story is not over yet, and we will definitely see some more insane and unexpected things happening in the future. That's why we will see you in the next videos.